Hello and welcome to my review of the Chaos Space Marines Cultist Warband for Warhammer 40,000 from Games Workshop. Now this warband will cost you £19 and consists of 35 plastic components. Not many components at all. You're only getting 8 miniatures as well. It's quite a large saving compared to the recent Chaos Cultists set that I reviewed 6 months ago. Can you believe it? It was August when I reviewed the Chaos Cultists box set, and that box set would cost you £27.50. So you are saving, you know, almost £10 by forgoing 2 miniatures. Of course, the downside of getting 8 instead of 10 is that it is an illegal unit, I guess, if you want to call it that, because a typical Chaos Cultist unit comprises of no fewer than 10 Chaos Cultists, well, 9 and a champion. So you're going to have to find 2 Chaos Cultists from somewhere, but I'm sure people have got like a couple of civilian-sized miniatures somewhere that they could proxy, like a Traitor Imperial Guard or even a couple of Imperial Guard, and just modify them or something. But you know, that's quite a large saving, really, £8.50 to get 8. And if you've already got the Chaos Cultist set, it means you can bump up the numbers with these. The Chaos Cultist set didn't do very well in my review at all. It's monopose, single miniatures. It's monopose miniatures, no pose options and no spare parts. It's kind of the same story with these. They are actually one step further. They're easy to build miniatures, these ones. So they have the pegs and the sockets. They're not as boring to put together as the other set, but they're close. In my opinion, these are better looking minis than the other set. But anyway, let's go through the format of this review, where I will look at all of the miniatures in detail. There aren't any spare parts, as I've mentioned, so I'll go straight into some size comparisons with a plethora of Chaos Space Marine models. Then I will go through their rules. Now, of course, they don't necessarily have individual Chaos. Now, they don't necessarily have their own rules anymore in a data sheet, so I will just go through the normal Chaos Cultist reviews found in the codex. So let's have a look at these miniatures up close. So start off with the champion, this guy right here. I think he's a fantastic looking mini. He's got this very nice large flamethrower, fire pike type weapon. He's a nightmare in terms of joins and gaps though. There's a big gap along the center of him. There's a gap all the way along this carapace armor. The cable, you'll need to file and get that correct. And there's a bit of a gap on his cloak. But other than that, other than Mold Line City and Gap City, this miniature is very, very cool. And he may even go well with the new World Eaters, Jackals as well. Sort of they carve the meat up, and this guy cooks it, I guess. Then you've got this heavy weapons cultist with this heavy stubber. Looks more like a Browning, doesn't it? Yeah, not many rounds there. Probably 2 or 3 bursts maybe before that disappears, and then she's just left with the grenade. No backup weapon, no pistol or anything like that. Also, there is a gap down the middle which is really quite difficult to get to. I might put some green stuff in there eventually. You've got this cultist reloading the auto gun there. Very strange kind of mask helmet going on, and then a crack grenade. Then you've got this one throwing a frag grenade. There's quite a few females in this Cultist Warband. Pretty cool. You've got this spiky helmet. You've got the auto gun. I'm still undecided whether to drill holes in the auto guns, but the grenade launcher already has a hole kind of built in. So this hench dude with a crack grenade and some rounds for this launcher. And then you've got this one He's just carrying a ammunition box, maybe for that heavy stubber. You've got this one, which is another kind of commander, I think. She's got a very nice chainsaw. I like the mask, this horn death mask thing, and then an auxiliary like auto stub pistol maybe. Fair bit of detail on that one. I like that miniature. And then you've got this cultist with an auto gun too, aiming down the sights. So I like the variation, I like the variety. They're nice looking miniatures. They're definitely an upgrade over the normal Chaos Space Marine cultist set, if you were thinking about picking these up. Let's get straight into the size comparisons then. So first off, I wanted to compare them with the newer, they came out in August, Chaos Cultist miniatures. So I've got one of them here, and this just gives you an idea. Maybe probably not best to compare those two, but yeah, size wise they're very similar size, detail very similar. I just prefer this Cultist Warband to the newer ones. This one's actually got a bolt pistol, which is a bit of an upgrade. So that's where they stand with those. They're going to work very well as a big mob, just mixing them all up with them. I've got a traitor guardsman. Hopefully they'll expand more on these, but the traitor guardsman is pretty much the same height, but has a fair bit armor. Has a fair bit more armor. Obviously you've got your typical las pistol and chainsword there. Then we'll go on to like a torment. I think this is a torment. So one of the newer miniatures. So yeah, this came out at the same time as the cultist set, but that's just where a torment measures up. These torments would go well with all of the cultists and things as like a big mutated mob. Chaos Space Marines then. So here is a Chaos Space Marine next to a cultist. That's about what you'd expect. A fair bit bigger, chunkier. So that's great. This is one of my coolest looking Chaos Space Marines. Next to like a Terminator. Again, probably what you'd expect. Maybe you expect the Terminator to be a bit bigger than that, but yeah, Terminators are pretty large. And then, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're definitely gonna, you know, when you're putting a load of cultists and things near like 5 Terminators, you can definitely, you know, see the difference there. I've got a Possessed. Possessed are on the Terminator bases, similar sort of size really to Terminators, probably a bit taller, a bit bigger than Terminators, because of their poses, I guess. And then, just for fun, I've got a Baden. Why not? Why not put a Baden in amongst all these cultists? And that's where a Baden sort of stands up. Final comparisons I always like to make is just with you know, some Imperial miniatures. So we've got a Space Marine. Next to a Space Marine, the cultist is, yeah, about a foot shorter or so. Next to a Primaris. Primaris is a fair bit bigger and kind of what you'd expect a Space Marine to be. Probably a bit too tall, really. And then Sly Marbo, is he showing his age a bit? No, Sly Marbo is about the same height as the cultists, so that's fair. So yeah, that's where they all stand. Quite reasonably sized, not too tall and also not too stunted either. It's a shame these guys haven't really got any transport. You know, you can't put them in rhinos as dedicated transport or anything like that. It would have been nice, but I also understand that, you know, rhinos are for Space Marines. But because we're getting more and more civilian cultist kind of mobs, it would be good to have some of the other vehicles that are in different ranges to give them transport options. Because normally these cultists have hardly any saves. I know they kind of rush out of buildings and things, and once they're, I say, activated, you know, once they form up. But it would also be good to have them on like bikes and in vehicles and things like that. That would be quite cool. But as a bonus size comparison, I've got Angron here, which is a Demon Primarch. It just gives you an idea of how big Angron is. I mean, I think Angron should be bigger, really, because in the lore he can kind of eat people in one go. But then again, you know, in lore, sizes are much different, aren't they? But still, that's Angron, Demon Primarch, next to all of them. And in this final part of my video, I will be going through all of the rules for the Chaos Cultist Warband. As I say, they haven't got their own data sheet anymore, so I'll be using the rules from the Cultist mob. They are a troop choice. They are a power points cost of a 2, but bear in mind that is for 10 of them. The unit cost is 5 points per model. You can give them a Cultist Grenade Launcher at 5 points, a Flamer for 5 points, and a Heavy Stubber for 5 points. Their stat line reads: they're a movement of 6 inches, weapon skill and ballistic skill are both 4+, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 5, and a save of 6+. And the Cultist Champion has the same stat line, except they get 2 attacks and their leadership is 6. So pretty straightforward, quite weak, you know, toughness 3, only 1 wound. They don't really have a save, and their ballistic skill and weapon skill isn't the best either. If this unit contains 11 to 20 models, it has a power rating of 5. Every model is equipped with auto pistol, brutal assault weapons, frag grenades and crack grenades. So the auto pistols then, it's a range of 12 inch, pistol 1, strength 3, AP 0, damage 1. The Cultist firearm, which I think, you know, quite a few of them have, it's a range of 24 inch, rapid fire 1, strength 3, AP 0, damage 1. So you're just getting that extra range there. The Cultist Grenade Launcher is the same range, 24 inch. It's assault 1, but it's strength 6, AP -1 and damage D3. So it does pack a bit of a punch there. And then the Flamer is a 12 inch, assault D6, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. And each time an attack is made with the weapon, the attack automatically hits the target. So you're getting, you know, up to 6 shots there at strength 4. The Heavy Stubber is a whopping 36 inch range. It's a heavy 3 shot. It's strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. You know, I guess that's all right, but no armor penetration and only damage 1. And then the Brutal Assault Weapon is a melee weapon. Strength of the user, which will only be 3. AP is 0, damage 1. And then each time the bearer fights, it makes 1 additional attack with this weapon. So they have no abilities. They've just got war gear options. So any number of models can each have their auto pistol and brutal assault weapon replaced with 1 Cultist firearm. 1 Chaos Cultist auto pistol and brutal assault weapon can be replaced with 1 Flamer. 1 Cultist auto pistol and brutal assault weapon can be replaced with 1 Heavy Stubber. And 1 Chaos Cultist auto pistol and brutal assault weapon can be replaced with 1 Cultist Grenade Launcher. The Cultist Champion auto pistol can be replaced with 1 Bolt Pistol. If this unit contains 15 or more models, you can select each of these war gear options a second time. So, you know, up to 14, you can only have 1 Flamer, 1 Heavy Stubber and 1 Grenade Launcher, which mine pretty much have. I've just got to bump up the numbers to 10, but then if you've got 15 or more, then you can get a second Grenade Launcher, second Flamer and a second Heavy Stubber. I'm not sure whether it's worth doing that, adding all those points up, considering they're very weak and they don't really have a save and their ballistic skill isn't the best, but your mileage may vary. But it's up to you if you wanted to create like a dedicated Cultist Warband task force of, you know, 15 with loads of heavy and special weapons. Keywords: Chaos, Traitoris, Astartes, Infantry, Cultists, Cultists, Mob. So there you go. That's my review of the Chaos Space Marines Cultist Warband. It's important to note that they do have frag grenades and crack grenades, so that might also be an option to throw crack grenades at certain things, because as you all know, crack grenades I think are strength 8, so that's probably the strongest weapons they have. I think they look cool, definitely cooler than the, I say, newer August release of Chaos Cultists box set. It's just a shame that in 2023 we still don't have like a big 20 model box set for Chaos Cultists. That's where I would like to see Chaos Space Marines have this. You know, Space Marines don't really have that. an Astra Militarum have gone into, you know, oh, there's 10 Cadians in a box set now. It would be nice to bring back box sets of 20 miniatures with lots of options, lots of spare parts and things like that we had in the 90s and early 2000s. I would love to see a box set of 20 cultists with loads of options, with loads of posability, so you can just build a big blob of these horde miniatures from one box. Then you could buy, you know, a couple of the boxes and you're pretty much done if you wanted to go down the sort of cultist route. But what do you guys think of this Cultist Warband? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Death to the False Emperor.